We need to have a little chat about the Dyson Zone, the $950 air purifying and noise canceling headphones. Now, I'm guessing that if you're watching this video, you might have seen Marques Brownlee's review called "This is the dumbest product I've ever reviewed." And after using the Dyson Zone for a little bit now, I mostly agree. But there were a couple of things from my experience that I think are worth talking about. So let's go take a closer look. The Dyson Zone was first announced in 2022, but that was already well after the peak of the pandemic. Mask mandates had definitely eased up, and in general, people were out and about in the world again. Still, the product came out specifically saying that it's not for airborne viruses like COVID. Instead, it promised this futuristic experience of having air pollution filter out for things like city commutes. Plus, the noise-canceling headphones aspect of it meant that you could also filter out sound. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you might know that I'm not a fan of noise-canceling headphones anywhere where I might need to be aware of my surroundings for safety's sake. So, on a city commute to work. I use ANC for working in the office or on flights, so I actually took the Dyson Zone on a cross-country flight, and let's just say it didn't go great. There was something ironic about sitting in a seat that cost significantly less than my headphones, but anyway, the first issue I had was with packing. This is a bulky product. The best way to carry it around is with this chic little purse thing. For the city, I love this. It's just functional enough to feel cool. But to keep these safe, I personally didn't feel comfortable just throwing them in a bag, which isn't the case for my other headphones. I had to leave my other headphones at home for this trip because the Dyson Zone took up so much space in my bag. That leads me to the awkwardness of this product. The visor is detachable so that it can't be snapped or broken, but it's a lot of parts to think about. Getting it all on the plane on my lap was very uncomfortable. Add in a neck pillow, eating and drinking, and it's just not ideal. I do really like how the visor flips down while staying attached magnetically. This also switches the headphones to transparency and pauses my music when the flight attendant comes by. This would be good if I stopped to order food on the way to work too, but it's still just a lot to bring around. Maybe if these weren't so heavy, I'd feel different. These basically weigh 1.5 pounds, and that's a lot to have on my head and to walk around with. Both the AirPods Max and Sony Mark 5s are well under a pound for comparison, so I do think that these are just too heavy. I bet you my headphones weigh twice as much as hers. I'm sure it needs the space for the air purifiers, but maybe other parts of this design and the headband are just trying too hard to follow Dyson's design language. I feel like the heft is in the headband and these parts that attach the cups to the band. The materials on the headphone itself actually feel very premium, but by contrast, this visor feels cheap. It's mostly plastic and it looks like it could snap. The visor also attracts mad fingerprints and is also kind of noisy. But I guess if you want the air purification, you can deal with that. I will say it's pretty impressive how Dyson packed all of this technology into the ear cups. It's also smart to have this easy filter replacement system and include an extra set of filters in the packaging. Plus, the app tells you when your filters need to be replaced, so there's no guessing involved. The app is also how you see the air quality around you, both in your broader location and actually what the headset is picking up around it. It reads the level of nitrogen dioxide in the air. Nitrogen dioxide gets into the air from burning fuel, so think of places with a lot of buildings or industrial parks or big trucks and buses, even just a ton of cars in traffic. It's true that breathing in excess nitrogen dioxide can lead to health problems or aggravate existing ones like asthma. If these are things that concern you, personally, you know what, I think that this is smart. I also think the answer is for greater action against air pollution and burning fossil fuels so that we don't get to the point of needing to breathe through something like this in the first place. Again, despite looking like a mask, the Dyson Zone is not a mask that prevents viral illness. I am worried that no amount of emphasizing that point will prevent this kind of misconception when you see someone out and about wearing the headset. Luckily, when I posted a somewhat joking TikTok about wearing it on a plane, several people pointed out that I wasn't getting protection and that the HEPA filters on the plane were doing enough work. But I did still want to wear it because I do like the feeling of fresh, cool, and odorless air reaching my face. It almost feels like I'm getting a direct oxygen line. It's honestly a nice sensation. If I were to start moving around or running to catch a train on auto mode, it'll automatically kick up the amount of air being pushed through the visor. Otherwise, the Zone has 3 settings that can be adjusted either in the app or directly on the headset. The airflow poses a major setback though. With the whole operation going, the Dyson Zone only lasts about 2.5 hours max. That means on a 6-hour flight, I need to keep them plugged into an outlet most of the time. It also means that if your commute is longer than that, you're gonna be SOL carrying around this lifeless, heavy contraption. You'll also be charging the Zone a lot. I mean, maybe the fancy carrying case has room for a portable charger? I really had higher hopes for this product. In the short demo sessions, I felt so cool and futuristic. But I quickly realized that it lacks enough practicality to justify the high price. Forget concerns about how other people might think I look, and forget the audio quality because honestly it's fine for most people. It's actually pretty good considering that this was made by a company that doesn't do audio. And if you actually have a situation where you think or know that your health is harmed by air pollutants, if this gives you peace of mind or ultimately improves your life quality, that's fantastic. Maybe I'm even a little jealous. I feel so cool that I wish I had a real reason to own these. But for the masses, this isn't it. I think a lighter, more portable design and a better battery life is an absolute must if Dyson comes out with a version 2.0. Those are things that someone shouldn't have to struggle with if they're basically spending $1,000. What's your take on the Dyson Zone? Be sure to let me know in the comments. We've posted some additional content with these on social if you want to check it out. It's at Tom's Guide on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I'm at Kate Kosich. I'll catch you next time.